So I'm out shopping for homes right now, and my realtor actually went to another showing up the road, so I let him go handle that. And he said, I could sit in here and soak up and manifest the crib. Obviously, a year is a little far in advance, and some people might even call that window shopping, but I call this manifestation. I work hard every single day. I run 3 businesses right now, and it's really just getting to a point where sometimes I lack motivation. Sometimes I lack purpose, and I have to reassure myself, why am I doing this? Why am I so locked in? Why am I putting in so much work? Why am I not relaxing like everybody else? And this makes me feel that. So I hope when I can reach out today and understand, I talk about law of attraction and manifestation in a lot of my videos, and I get a lot of different comments of people asking, well, how can you attract the life that you desire? How can you live the life that you want? How can I break out of this, this, and this? And it's quite literally simple. Like, I hate to sound cliche. I hate to sound like all these other people on YouTube, but I'm telling you right now, the recipe is the same. And that's why you hear it said time and time again. That's why you see so many different people doing it. And that's why you don't see a lot of people doing it in your close circle if you're in that position, because you have to understand that what you're around is what you will be. So if you're around a whole bunch of people that are not reaching their goals and you think you're going to just lock in and run it up, that's not how that works. That's not the law of attraction. So you have to understand that putting yourself in certain environments, putting yourself around certain things, and really feeling the vibe will really make you attract the energy that you want. For years, I was test driving Corvettes. I was paying $400, $500 a day for the same car that I got right now, and I'm very blessed to say that. And I wasn't doing it just to pop it for the gram or whatever the case may be. I really wanted to feel it. I wanted to get in the car, get behind the wheel, figure out, okay, is this something I really want in life? Is this something that I really feel like I deserve? And if the answer is yes, I'm not going to limit myself. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, it's kind of expensive or it's out of my price range. I'm about to get it. I'm about to get it because right now I can, especially like if you're capable of doing anything, if you're capable of getting on a game, if you're capable of scrolling on your phone, if you're capable of watching TV, you're capable of growing and scaling a business. And a lot of people be like, oh, well, not everybody's built for that. Make yourself built for that. Shift your mentality, shift your habits, shift your spirit, and shift your faith, and see how far that gets you. I'm not saying everybody needs to make it to the top. Everybody needs to be millionaires or billionaires. Everybody needs to live in the nicest cribs. Not everybody cares about the material stuff, but understand that you still deserve to live the best quality of life possible while you're on this earth, and you should pass that down to everybody in your family. You should live an abundant life. It says it in the Bible that we should live abundant. So stop convincing yourself that you don't need to live abundantly just because you feel like it's unachievable. It's achievable. Manifest it. Put in the work and put God in the middle of all of that, and I promise you, you're gonna make it a lot further than you ever did. So it's crazy, right? I actually bought my new construction property last year. It's a year old now. It's a 2024 build, and I was looking at new construction cribs for like 2 years before that. Going on tours, looking through model homes, really just trying to get a feel for what I want, because seeing is believing when it comes to manifestation. Although I'm able to get this home now, I had to remind myself to practice what I preach, because just because something's accessible to me doesn't mean that I need to go take that hit and go get it. I talk about manifestation and the law of attraction in a lot of my videos, and I have a lot of different people asking me, well, how do I attract the life that I want? How do I get the life that I desire? And it starts with this, right? A lot of people think it's crazy to, a year or a couple months in advance be sitting in a model home that they may be purchasing soon. But it's not. You have to see it to believe it. You have to feel it. You have to walk into the house, feel the countertop, sit in it, walk through it, and really understand that this is going to be your reality soon. And it's bigger than material. I know I can't take any of this with me at the end of the day, but the Bible says that we should live in abundance. So while I'm on this earth, I'm going to make my best effort to make sure I live the most abundant life possible. So this mansion for me is a milestone. It's not a motive, right? I know that once I achieve this, my software company is doing billions in revenue, and my other businesses are doing millions and millions in revenue, and I'm not just buying it just because I can afford it and let me get it now. Let me get the instant gratification now. Let me get the big crib now just because I want it, and wait until I'm really in a position of where I could damn near come cash, as opposed to financing or drop a 50% down payment as opposed to putting 20% down. You know what I'm saying? So just understanding that just because something is accessible to you now doesn't mean that it's time to go get that thing. Sometimes God is testing you. So He's trying to give you the bait and see if you're going to take it. And just because you might be able to get that whip right now, you might be able to get that crib right now, you might be able to get whatever it is, just understanding that now might not be your time. Now might be your time to feel it, maybe rent a car out, maybe get an Airbnb, maybe go tour some cribs just so you can feel it and get in that energy, because everything you're around is what you'll attract. So the environment you're in is what you'll attract. If I sit in this crib right now and I get comfortable and I feel like this is my crib, best believe in a year or less, I'm going to have something just like this. It's not to flex, but it's to motivate, to understand that, shit, coming from where I come from, I ain't never lived in a single family house my whole life. I ain't never had no stainless steel all my shit, white stoves, Section 8, 2 bedrooms, small apartments, sometimes even 1 bedrooms with my mama. And, you know, she did what she could, you know. That's just where I come from. So I never knock her for that. I got a great mother, but understanding that now that I've been exposed to more, now I want more. And that's part of manifesting. Now that you see more, you want more. I never been in a crib like this my whole life. I would have to drive 3 hours to even find something like this when I was younger. And now, you know, the same person that built my house built this house. And that's why I got to connect to even be up in here. So just understanding that there's better in life. You know, it might not be material for you. It might be a freedom thing, but understanding that certain different things, like I said, can be milestones. Not everything has to be about it being flashy, but it's about the work that it takes to get here. Because realistically, anybody who living in a house like this, you think they spending their last on this? No, they're abundant. They're pretty much almost cashing out on cribs like this because they put in the work to get there. So it's not about the material, but it's about the motive. It's about the drive. It's about how they locked in to get to that point. Whatever it is that you choose to do with your money, maybe it might not be this, but understanding that the more money you have, the more abundance you have, better your quality of life will be, especially if you keep Jesus Christ in the center of that. Sitting in here right now is manifestation. That's faith. That's discipline. That's how you attract the life that you want to have to get to this point. And, you know, like I said, material doesn't mean anything, but I know once I bought that Corvette, okay, now I'm in a point where I done ran it up to where it's nothing. I'm not sitting here struggling to make no payment because I done came so heavy on the down payments. When you get to that point, you know you've achieved more. It's not only about the material, but it's about how much my company has grown since then. My company has made an impact on thousands and thousands of lives, turned up so many businesses and turned up so many different people through the services that I offer. And that is a token of that for me, at least. So stop convincing yourself you don't deserve the lifestyle that you know you deserve. If you're going to live in a house anyways, why would you not want to live in one like this? You know what I'm saying? If you're going to drive a car anyways, why would you not want to drive your dream car? Like, stop convincing yourself that it's not achievable for you, because I promise if you lock in and you get right with God and you keep him in the center of your life and you make your motive not about the money, but you make the motive about the impact, it's the law of attraction. Everything's going to come back to you. And the law of attraction is you have to already act like the person that you want to be. If you want to be the person with the mansion, you got to go sit in the mansion. You got to pull up in front of it and park your car in the driveway and walk in the front door and walk up the stairs and feel like it's your crib. You know what I'm saying? Sit on the couch, sit on the bar stools and feel it and soak it in, because some people might laugh at you like, oh, haha, you window shopping, so on and so forth. Okay, cool, say that. But that's why you don't manifest your dreams. You don't get around to things early on to, you know, first of all, understand even if this is worth putting the work in for it, right? You understand that it is worth the work to put in, then now you have the motive to put it in. You already then got a little taste of it. You done already walked around the crib. So when you go back home and you look into the other side of your house and it's a couple feet away, a couple walking distance away, and you know I can't even see the third bedroom from where I'm sitting. Now I know I need to lock in. Now I know I need to do better, because I deserve better. I deserve the best quality of life. We all do. All of you guys deserve the best quality of life. So for those of y'all that's with me, man, make sure you locking in. Make sure you manifesting, and make sure you're attracting things to you. Get rid of the distractions. Get rid of the excuses. Get rid of the trauma. Get rid of the things that are holding you back in life, and really soak up and lock in and take in God's glory and give back to God's kingdom. And I promise you'll attract the life you desire. Moving limited beliefs. You know, when I'm driving through these neighborhoods and I'm looking at every single sign saying sold, and I'm seeing supercars in the driveway, and I'm seeing, you know, the wives driving black trucks and Maybach trucks, I'm understanding that, okay, this is really achievable. Not only is it possible, but it's achievable. Like, people are really getting this done. There's so many people doing this. So why can't I? What makes me different? Why am I holding myself back? And really look at the excuses that you're making for yourself and decide if it's even worth making that excuse. That's a good enough excuse to hold you back from reaching the goals that you want to reach. And like I said, it don't got to be material. I'm talking about goals in general. I'm talking about manifestation in general. Manifesting the life that you want. If you say you want to be married and manifesting that, adjusting everything in your life to that, making your life align with that. If you're saying you want to be a business owner, adjusting your life to that and making your life align with that. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So a lot of these principles apply to life. Like I'm telling y'all, once I started implementing this in every single part of my life, everything improved for me. And I just want to spread the gospel and just let you guys know that put your trust in God. You make your purpose to serve God's kingdom, and you do proper research, you manifest, you take the proper required steps, it's quite that simple. That's the blueprint to success and the blueprint to manifestation. Your environment and proximity creates reality. I moved around these mansions and stuff. I had to move away from, the city and the partying life, and I was cool with that because I was like, okay, went away from my apartment and stuff like that, and I get around people who are no longer living in 1 bedrooms and they got 7 bedrooms and they got 4,000 square feet. Now I see it's more achievable. Now I get to drive past it every day and be like, damn, this is crazy. You get what I'm saying? So understanding that you can manifest the life that you desire, right? And I'm gonna have this same builder build my home. That's why I'm looking so far in advance, because I want to buy a piece of land. Definitely manifesting my reality. If you know you desire a better quality of life and you feel yourself lacking motivation or lacking drive or self-doubt, go ahead and rent that car. Spend the money, rent it up, rent that car. Go ahead, get that Airbnb, or even just go on a tour. Even just go to the dealership. That's free. You don't got to spend money for that. You don't got to spend money to go on a tour. For a crib like this, they might want to look at some bank statements or something. You know what I'm saying? But, you don't got to spend money to go on a tour on a house like this. You don't got to spend money to go to the car dealership and look at a Ferrari and maybe sit in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, do those things. It's essential to life, because your environment that you're around is what you'll attract. Once you see it and once you see how achievable it is, I love to use material things for that. Material doesn't matter in life, but material things are the easiest things to put in the work and see how achievable they are, because it's something that comes instant. When it comes to different things in life, growth, development, wisdom, faith, these are things that you can't visually see. You can't visually attain. You can only attain them within your mind. And that's why I like to use material things, not as goals, but milestones, to know that, okay, once I rent up this money and I scale this business and I grow this business to 7 and 8 and 9 figures, and I invest this amount of money, I can finally get myself this little material thing. Once you start thinking of the game like that and start playing the game of life like Monopoly and moving the right type of pieces, you start to understand how easy it is to attract these type of things in life. All the things that you used to drive past and wish that were yours, or you used to walk past and be like, dang, I wonder who lives there, that could really be you. And it's bigger than, like I said, the material. These people are living a life of freedom. Do you think they're worried about how much things cost at the grocery store? Do you think they're worried about the price of gas? No, because these people put themselves in a position to have the most abundance, and that's how they acquire this type of thing. So I hope that a lot of you can learn from that and adapt that mindset. Some people might not agree with it. Cool. You ain't got to subscribe to me, but I'm telling you right now, these are the things that are going to take you to the next level. Manifesting, right? Putting in the work, putting things into place that you need to get yourself to the next level. I'm telling y'all right now, it's too easy right now to figure out a way to run up some type of money to put you and your family in the best position. Even if your goal isn't to get this crib or to drive the nicest car or to have the jewelry or whatever the case may be, cool. But put your family in a better position. Get more time with your kids. Get more time with your significant other. Get more time with your parents. Like, people need to understand time is so crucial. We need to get out this trap of working for time for money, and if we're going to do that, cool, I don't knock it, but let's figure out how we can expand. Let's figure out how we can maximize off our time. Let's figure out how we can make our money make us money while we're making money, if that makes sense, because two people are so comfortable with settling in life and not understanding the real possibilities and capabilities of what you can do in this world if you really put your mind to it. So I hope I reach somebody today. Y'all stay blessed.